What's going on, y'all? Grind to Motivate back in this thing again, man, with another video. And it looks like the Latinos for Trump are under attack. And the crazy thing is, they voted for Trump in a majority. But that's the first thing Trump did. As soon as he started making his little speeches, he was like, we're going to send you back. We're going to end birthright citizenship. And it's funny that people are only saying this about the Latinos when I think this is just majority of immigrants in general, man. There's African immigrants, there's white immigrants. You know, of course, there's the Latino immigrants. They're obviously the majority of the illegal people, but, you know, there are others as well that nobody really wants here either. But, yeah, it's just, just kind of funny, man. He hit that Uno reverse card on them folks. They really thought they was winning. I could dare say if there's a little cunologisto there, you can't call them cunologists because they're Latino. You got to go cunologistos because, they're Latino. But we're going to definitely talk about that a little bit more, man. It's interesting to see the liberal reaction to this because at first they were on board. You always hear all this little BS. People of color, black and brown, disproportionately attacked. Yeah, communities, yeah, black and brown. But now, that Trump got elected, they're like, I hope you go back. I hope you go back. The only thing you're good for is tacos. I hope you go back, man. It's interesting to see how they react once, you go against them or, you don't agree with them anymore. Like how they've been saying, everybody's been saying, yeah, well, black people need a knee on their neck. The black guys that voted for Trump need a knee on their neck or, don't come to us for help. It's crazy. But, you see the meme right here, man. What you think about Trump now? Yes? And I thought that was just like a little stereotype till I was working at McDonald's one time, like Kamala Harris. I was like 16, and then one of the folks pulled up in the driveway and everything I was saying, he was saying yes. I just couldn't believe it, like, bro, like this is real. But yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and get into a few of these clips. I'm gonna go ahead and say what I think, and of course, I would like to hear what you guys think as well. Let's go.
The city will no longer issue vouchers to migrants to pay for food, ending a controversial program that had repeatedly come under attack by conservatives and others.
This pilot program in New York City, drenched in both humanity and controversy, distributed debit cards to migrant families staying in city-funded hotels and allowing them to buy their own food. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger following the breaking news for us. Josh?
Well, Bill, it's a program that, as you say, generated plenty of controversy, but now its absence may raise even more questions. The so-called Immediate Response Cards pilot program was designed to help feed migrant families who'd found themselves in New York with no way to afford food. The one-year contract provided what the city described as culturally relevant food to 2,600 migrant families, allowing them to basically buy what they wanted. A family of four with two kids under 5 got about $350 per week to cover food in a program the city said would actually save taxpayers millions a year. It also reduced food waste. You may remember the food the city had been providing in migrant shelters was seen as not culturally sensitive to the needs of some migrant groups, and it ended up just going to waste. For more than a year, the city was groaning under the weight of more than 200,000 asylum seekers. Officials say the migrant population has actually reduced lately. In fact, a massive shelter on Roosevelt Island is in the process of closing. In the meantime, Mayor Adams spoke on the phone yesterday with President-elect Donald Trump, who had vowed during his campaign to mass deport migrants. Aside from congratulating him on his win, though, Adams today would not say what they discussed.
I'm more than okay with this, man. I think that the migrant crisis showed extreme levels of idiocy by the United States government, the way they just allowed the illegals to just storm the border and come up in here. And everybody just lied and said that they were looking for asylum when most of them are not looking for asylum. And then they allowed them to come up here and stay in free hotels. Then they allowed them to come up here and get $9,000 or $10,000 a month per family or per family member, which is crazy. That's an astronomical amount of money if you got 5 people. Imagine that. You're high value to the max. And then also they're giving these people $350 cards every week just to eat. When you've got regular people out here starving and just trying to figure it out, working 3 jobs just to get that food. That's crazy work, right? Crazy work. And then I just want, all the people that aren't really thinking about the severity of the problem. Like, imagine, you're living in your neighborhood, everything's going good. You've been paying your rent on time. You've been doing everything you're supposed to do. I don't know, maybe you're, you moved yourself up to that neighborhood in particular, because you got yourself together, you locked in for a little bit, and now your monies are up. But they decide, oh yeah, we're going to send a Latino or these Venezuelan people to your neighborhood. Now you have to share a neighborhood with people that you don't know. They don't act the same way you do. They don't know how to drive, or they don't have the same customs that you got, or whatever. They might be criminals. You have to deal with them now. How fair is that? And that's what a lot of black people went through when they kept sending all these different Latino people to their neighborhoods. Not different, they were sending mostly Venezuelan people to them. But that brings me to another point. Latinos for Trump is interesting because I feel like most of the Latinos have a dirty closet when you think of it. Besides the Puerto Ricans who are actually United States citizens, the rest of them, they might have a checkered past. There's a lot of Mexicans and other different groups of Latinos that also cross the border illegally. They maybe cut a little grass and paved a few driveways and did some construction. Then they had a kid to anchor them down, and now they feel like they're safe. When it's like, nah, nope. Like a lot of you guys are descendants of illegals. Like there's not like a big group of Mexican people that were here at the inception of the country. What are we saying? So a lot of you guys are descendants of illegals. So it's interesting that you guys would actually pull out your Registro card and then come back here and vote for Trump when you know that he was more so for that. I thought if anything, the Latinos were going to be for Harris and them because they tooted up hard and bent over backwards for them to come up here and do whatever and just live basically a Grand Theft Auto life. Like they had them folks out here committing crimes, rapes, they stealing, shooting, and then they'll put them in jail, and then they'll let them right back out the next day like Grand Theft Auto, which is crazy to me. Crazy work, man. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm glad that this is happening, man. It definitely needed to be having a stop put to it. And if you feel a different kind of way, let me know down in the comments below. If you feel the same way, let me know down in the comments below. Let's go to the next thing. The next goosher is Trump-appointed judge strikes down Biden's green card program for immigrants married to U.S. citizens, and people seem to think it was mostly only for Latinos when there are a host of other immigrant people that do this a lot, man. I've heard white immigrants be like, yes, would you help me get married so that I could stay here? I've heard Asian people do it. I've heard African do it. Yeah, cause you married me. You will marry me, and I will be CTC. I've heard them all do it. So this is actually interesting, man. I think that I do think that's kind of a loophole, man. While I think it's less of a loophole than you just coming here busting it open, getting took up through there and having a baby, it still is another loophole that needs to have a little bit more nuance and rules to it, if you ask me. Like I don't know, like there should be. I don't know how I don't know what there should be with it, but it is kind of because there are a lot of people that are just doing it just for money, and there are a lot of people that's not really not really married and in love with people. So I mean, I guess that would be really the main way. You'd have to really be able to scope these people out and private investigate them in a way that shows, oh yeah, these folk really married, or oh these folk playing, they lying. I ain't even seen them bust one time. I ain't even seen them kiss nothing. So yeah, there's the way. And then of course we got the scared of massa types. We got your boy D-Man talking about to the 92% of black women who voted. Y'all did y'all job. Thank you. This here not our fight anymore. That's what them other ones wanted. Let's just sit back and watch the show now. That's how I feel like all Democratic dudes would be talking, but he might not even talk. He might be a cool dude. But then next we got your boy Cannon Bridge talking about some we can't sit back. They come for us. Prepare. Let's go, champ. I don't know about all that, bro. I ain't African. I mean, where are they gonna send a foundational Black American to? There's no. I mean, they're gonna have to really make some shit up. I mean, and then at the same time, there's gonna be a big fight. Like I said, nobody's gonna just sit back and let you just ship us off unless you're a real coward. You're not about to ship me off to goddamn Liberia or Botswana or some shit like that. You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it without me just being. I'm gonna either be in a box or there's just not gonna happen. or you're going to be in a box. That basically. Then at the bottom, we got Latinos for Trump. Didn't age well, man. You know, like I said, man, the Culologistas, man, attacking their fellow Latinos is interesting, man. But I guess there is like a little bit of beef between the different countries. You know, you'll hear different Latinos talk about how different Latinos speak Spanish, talk about it's gibberish or this or that. You know, you hear like you call like a Puerto Rican a Mexican or a Cuban guy a Mexican or something like that, get angry. But then I guess, there's an issue within all the races, man. You got the African, FBA, and Caribbean beefs. You've got the Asians. East Asians think they're better than Southeast Asians, and South Asians, and even within the East Asians, the Koreans, Japanese, and Chinese don't even like each other. But, like I said, they think they're better than people from the Philippines, and they don't even register South Asian Indian people as Asian. Then, also on top of that, you've got the Eastern and Western whites. They just kind of just do that just to kind of keep up appearances, I feel like. It's like, what's the point of y'all even really being mad at each other, man? Y'all mad because the Cold War happened a bunch of years ago and they played hockey against y'all in 96? Okay. But we got one more post. Let's go and check it out. Ever since Trump got elected, this lady has seemed to come out the woodwork saying some inflammatory posts towards Black Americans. And her first post is, "I'm glad Latinos are seeing how much Black Americans hate us," which this is a pretty silly and crazy statement here. I mean, unless you've been living under a rock, then you'll know that Black people have been chatting this whole black and brown thing like some suckers, like some ducks, for quite some time. I don't know how long. I mean, like, as long as I've been alive, they've been like that. And it's only been as of recent that Black people have started to actually wake up and see that, you guys have always been the ones that have not reciprocated the same energy. In fact, in California, I hear that the Mexicans are quite racist. I actually have a few friends that are Blaxican, and they say that their Mexican side is actually quite racist still, which is crazy to me that somebody would still be racist towards their family. But hey, man, I guess when you got that little bit of W gene in you, and you want to be like W people so bad, even though you can't really get inside the club, that tends to be what happens. And we see right here, we have a clear picture here of who's holding up the mass deportation signs. I'm not sure if this is AI. It doesn't look like AI though. And I see a bunch of Karens that look like they are on board for that mass deportation now. Mass deportation now, man. It's pretty sad, man, how a lot of these I don't know if I would say Mexicans, because like I said earlier, Latinos are a separate group of several different groups of people make up Latinos. There are so many different countries, so I'm not really sure which one you would say is which. I don't know. Maybe this lady's from like Argentina or something like that. Who knows? But this is some BS. We got your boy Black Tucker Carlson saying, yeah, stop saying the N-word. I agree with that, man. And I think that when you guys say that, you guys are, like Black Light said a while back, you guys are just doing it as a latent form of racism. You know it's disrespectful. You know it's not really acceptable, but you continue to do it. So I would say that if anything, you guys are always the ones that are, doing the anti-blackness. Next, she said it again, saying, "Blacks are just mad that Latinos don't want to live in a low vibrational state of fear like they live in. They want all minorities to be stuck in the past like them, hate white people, and follow their lead, or else they turn on you. F that. That's why I've never been an ally. Nobody cares about your allyship. Once again, black and brown is not a thing, and I've never really thought of it as a thing. I mean, I guess I've always kind of thought that Mexican people were cool in a way, but I mean, I've recently found out in years that they're not all cool. I mean, the people I've seen in person have been cool, and continue to see they're still cool. Maybe it's like that online presence, just like the W boys, the Mexican dudes have that W gene in them. So, they're only tough online, and they're only able to really say the way they feel online. But all the Mexicans I've met in person have been cool, but that still doesn't make all of them cool. I know the older guys might be on some BS, the ones that be speaking Spanish, be talking mess about you, so forth and so on. And one thing that I would say about the Mexican folks, man, is like they want to be W people. Like a lot, like some of them, not all of them, but like some of them want to be W people so bad, and it's quite pathetic, to be honest. It's very pathetic. You'll never be W. You'll never be in the club. Like I said, you're on the outside looking in, hating on the outside of the club. And another thing she said here was, being stuck in the past and hating W people. Being stuck in the past, I don't really think that we're stuck in the past. I think things have just continued on here in the United States, and nothing has been done about it. There's not been anything to right the wrongs. So until that happens, there will never really be a good relationship between us and the W's, until they decide to be fair and just, which I don't think will ever happen, unfortunately. But yeah, and I think that there's nothing wrong with calling out bad behavior from another race, just like when you call out bad behavior from, your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whatever the hell. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If somebody does something racist or somebody does something foul against my people, I'm going to call it out. Somebody's saying something like how this lady's saying, I'm going to call it out, and it doesn't make me racist. If you guys were going to stop tuning up, not you guys, because I don't want to put all Latinos in the same boat, but the ones that want to be W's and toot up to W's, you guys are pathetic. And it's nothing wrong with calling out BS behavior when you see it. It does not make you racist. It just makes you aware. I guess it makes you woke, which you guys don't want to be because you guys don't really understand the terminology of woke. But yeah, there's that. But yeah, man, tooting up and trying to be a W person when you're not, and you'll never be looked at as one, is elite level patheticness. And I'm just going to leave that there, man. Latinos for Trump down bad. Real sad. And it's just real weird that you guys would vote for somebody that you guys knew wanted you to take you guys about the paint. I don't get it. But yeah, man, if you watched up to this point, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time.